Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Trying to get in a video here before I open the shop, a random video about some thoughts I'm having or have had. Actually, it's in reference to another coin shop silver gold stacking channel, and you might have seen it. The dealer said something that I've talked about before, but it's becoming more of a reality now. Gold, the way gold is running, I'm going to check it right now. Gold's up 74 bucks. It cracked 3,300 an ounce. Silver's dragging as usual, but it is up 50 cents. It's at 32.88. But these prices with gold and the way it's running, it doesn't appear, at least anytime soon, that it's going to turn around and have any kind of big corrections. It just keeps on running. And that's because of the instability in the markets, the tariffs, the worries about the economy, the world economy, all that stuff. You know what's going on. That's part of it. I do believe there's some worry about devaluation of the dollar and other countries dumping the US dollar. You know, there's all sorts of stuff going on. I'm no economic expert, but, you know, some of this stuff's pretty obvious. And gold just seems to want to keep running and running. Oh, and by the way, if you would, please like and subscribe to my videos. I almost forgot to tell you. So if you don't remember, if you want to, if you like what I'm talking about, great. If you don't, yeah, I guess you don't have to. But so in any case, I'm going to give you a somewhat hypothetical situation, even though it's probably not that hypothetical anymore. And that's if gold, for example, decides it's going to just keep running for the next whatever, year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever. And some of these banks, these large institutions, are now predicting gold to go as high as, 4,500 an ounce, and they keep adjusting it as it rises. Well, if gold, which it very well may, if it ever gets to 4,500, 5,000 an ounce or more, it's going to create some issues for all you guys that have stacked silver and gold. And that's if you decide you want to unload some. And the problem I see that could happen, and it's already happening a little bit, is that coin shops and small dealers and gold buyers have limited amount of money. We would literally, some of us, or most of us, at some point will run out of money, and we won't be able to keep up with the amount of stuff coming in. And that could be a big problem. Of course, the big thing to worry about is when the really big dealers, not the local coin shop, but when the really, really big dealers or the refineries. Because right now, if I had to, I could take gold coins to the refinery. Of course, they're going to pay you a little bit under spot, but I could take them to them, and they would buy them, and I would be able to flip them that way if I had to. But the higher the price gets, there is a chance at some point even the refineries will have to back off buying. They won't be affected the way small dealers will be affected, obviously. And, it just could create a problem I could foresee in the future with physical gold, for sure. Now, it is hypothetical, but if you're like me and you see what's happening, gold is likely to keep running and getting higher and higher. And I think at some point you probably need to have some kind of plan on what you're planning on doing with this. Now, I know a lot of you guys, including myself to some degree, just figure you're going to keep this stuff forever. You're never turning it back into fiat paper, worthless paper money. And I think that's a pretty good plan overall. I'm with you on that. But of course, if the price ever gets to 5,000 an ounce on gold, you're going to be quite tempted to sell some. And I'm just not sure, you know, how much of a problem that will create actually selling it. So it's something to think about. I know I've touched on this before. I know other dealers now and other YouTube channels are actually talking about this because, you know, it could create a problem. And some of you won't agree with me, but I've been in this business a long time and no, I'm not a big dealer. So giving you some advice on what could happen and what probably will happen, I think is beneficial to you guys. It's just a little eye-opening. You know, physical gold and silver is not like trading the stock market or you know, anything like that. It's not like a bank account. It's like none of that. And you know, it's not like you can just click your fingers and it's gone. Now, usually it's pretty easy to sell it. You know, if you're within range of a driving range within a legitimate coin dealer, you can always walk in and sell. Although some coin shops are better than others. You know, normally it's not much of a problem. But it could become a really, really big problem if the price ever gets too high. And I guess it's a good problem to have if you have a lot of gold stacked away. Now, silver, on the other hand, is the same problem. That could happen too, but silver is going to need to move. And like I said in the last video, I personally believe the only way silver is going to take off is if the hedge funds, the central banks, countries, whatever, they decide they're going to start buying silver, that they need silver in large quantities, and that's going to move it. And to respond to some of your guys' comments who said, well, you know, the silver market's just manipulated. I know it's manipulated. Most people realize that there is some kind of manipulation going on, but they're not going to be able to manipulate it enough if these central banks step in and start buying it. They're going to have to step out of the way. They're going to have to cover all these shorts they have outstanding, and then silver will fly. And, you know, that's my opinion, of course. I don't know the future. Don't go making any decisions based on what I'm telling you. This is just the stuff that I'm doing and with the way I'm thinking. So if you guys have any comments or questions or anything you want to post in the comments about this, you know, please leave them below in the comments. I also have my, if you want to talk to me personally, I have my email address. It's posted in the description. If you had any comments or anything I could use that you think would be useful for this channel, and I would appreciate that. So let me check the time right now, but I'm gonna have to go open up the shop. Yeah, it's time for me to walk back to my store and open my shop. But like I said, if you have any comments, any suggestions, you're welcome to email me. You're welcome to leave them in the comments, and I'll do my best to respond. And until the next video, guys, thank you and have a great day.